Hey everyone, welcome back to CryptoCache. Thank you so much for joining me here. I hope you're having a great day, good morning, good afternoon, and good evening to you. Let's take a look at SUI and see what's going on. We talked previously about this little support range between 87 and 97 as a close approximate, being a decent area of consideration for a long position. So we're now at that range. We've come back down to test the local high and kind of see where we're at. Now we got our points of control here in this range too, so a lot of good things going on. Generally speaking, we shouldn't experience much further downside, but again, a lot of that is pending on Bitcoin. Keep in mind, Bitcoin just pumped and SUI did very little. So there's a reason for that. This coin is very overextended. A lot of coins that are this high up are inevitably going to be pulling back when Bitcoin goes up because of the fact that it's been going up when Bitcoin goes down, right? It's kind of almost inversely paired. And that inverse pairing is mostly just based off of greed, right? So it's generally the consensus. So if you're new to the channel or not, I want to say thanks again so much for watching. Hope you can learn something today. If you do want to become a better trader, CryptoCache.tech is a site. Link down below. Okay, so again, we got some awesome traders over there. Really good trades going on too. Our Premium Plus group has been killing it. Solana, ETH, Cardano for some nice little scalps there. And we took some nice trades here as well from ETH, 25% long and 21% near protocol long. Keep in mind, prior to that, we took a Bitcoin short, 30%, and Aave short, 28% over the weekend. Good stuff. All right, so let's take a look here. Is SUI worth taking a trade? That's the question I get. And the short answer is, to the upside, no. To the downside, possibly yes. And I'm just going to base that simply on liquidation here. Now, again, I don't like to take shorts on coins that are strong, right? We're going to confirm if the strength is still there. But generally speaking, based on a liquidation standpoint, from 70 to 85 cents, there is millions and or billions of dollars worth of liquidation. In fact, we zoom in a little bit here. Look at that here. A good chunk of $500 million in liquidation at 81 cents roughly. You combine the two, that's probably about $1 billion in liquidation, just that price point alone. So you can see a lot of liquidation to the downside and very little to the upside. Obviously, there's some shorts that shorted about 115 mark with success. But at this point here, it seems more likely the price would pull back further than go up at this point, just based on that simple metric. Now, let's take a look at some moving averages. First of all, we got a lot of support below us. Most coins can't even say this, so this is a good thing. We also look at our point of control. We zoom out a little bit. Let's go ahead and zoom out kind of here and see ever since we've been in the range of, 46 to 115, we see the most amount of resistance above us, okay? So that's a strong amount of point of control there. That basically implies that there's a lot of volume above. In short, the easy way to understand it is there's a lot of resistance above us, okay? I know it seems weird that volume above would be a resistance, but trust me on this, folks, it works as a resistance level, okay? So having said all that, we can see we're below that point of control, which is all well and good, but we're going to need a lot of volume to get through that. So taking it along into a resistance range doesn't make a ton of sense, all right? So hypothetically, any long between now and then would have been fine, but right now, there's not a tremendous amount of profit margin here. Now, is shorting it a good margin too? Well, in short, no, probably not, because the price may not pull back too much further. However, we want to look at everything. So let's do this here. Let's look at some SMAs and see kind of where we're at here. First of all, with RSI and MFI, they're both pulling back. They rejected off 70. It's common for that to happen. That really just implies there's potential for further downside. Stochastic has maxed itself out, and I'm curious about MACD. It's starting to plateau, letting us know that shift in momentum is occurring. Okay, so the daily time frame is telling us that, hey, we're good. We're above most support levels. We have a lot of support below us, but there's a tremendous potential for the price to pull back to those support levels based on the way that momentum occurs in price action. Okay. Again, what goes up must come down. There's a lot of profit left on this here. So it's like throwing a bone into a room full of dogs. They're going to try to get whatever's left on that meat, right? But the meat on the bone, they're going to want to get that. This is where we're at here. This is a very meaty bone. There's still a lot of profit to be taken. Ideally, exactly the main reason why it's one of the only red coins here so far today. Okay, there's a reason for that. So keep in mind, profits are going to be taken on highly profitable coins. This coin was an outlier when most coins were pulling back, and the inverse is applying now. That's mainly the reason why we're seeing that. All that being said, we're still over 50 in the RSI, which is good. That's generally a favorable sign. We're above all moving averages. We're holding the 20-day SMA. If we lose this 20-day SMA, I think it's pretty safe to say the price will pull back a little further. I think we could see somewhere in the range of 87 cents or lower as our next potential targets. Okay, but MACD is diverging. Stochastic is still swinging down. There's a lot of reasons why it's not ideal conditions to take the long here. Okay, now I know I mentioned yesterday this would be a good place to consider a long, but again, considering and taking one are two different things. That's why you always reevaluate when you decide you want to get in. If you just arbitrarily bought that dip because it's a dip, that's not really what you do in trading. You want to reanalyze and reconfigure and make sure you're on the right track. That's what we're doing here today. That's our due diligence, right? As a good trader, you got to do that. Take a look here at the hourly Ichimoku cloud. This is the first time we've seen the Ichimoku cloud being broken. So we're now 3 or 4 hours below the cloud. The lagging span is free and clear, and the conversion line is below the baseline. These are all signs telling us that a significant momentum shift has occurred, and the more likelihood we're going to find taking the price to the downside is greater than it going up right now. Okay, so there's a distinct probability the price will pull back lower. The only thing that would cause SUI to continue higher would be if Bitcoin were to push towards 62, 63K. I think that's less likely at this point, but again, we're right here just above that point of control, kind of broken through a key level resistance. We could see a run for Bitcoin, and if we do, this coin may try to push higher, but a lot of times what you'll see is a bearish backtest of the descending trend line or the ascending trend line, however, and that could very well be the case. Once more, we're still over the 20-day SMA on the 4-hour. That's good, but that's not great. Losing that level will give us further continuation of the downside. So I'm really thinking that SUI is more likely to pull back at this point. So just be careful if you do end up taking a long position. That's my main recommendation. If you take a short, you will have more success potential by taking a short, just based on everything we've seen here so far. It may be best to maybe consider waiting to see if Bitcoin tops out. But based on how poorly SUI is doing in the last 15 to 30 minutes versus Bitcoin, really tells me that SUI is due for a continuation of the downside. All right, so again, a lot of reasons why it's not really advantageous to consider along with this coin right now. I hope that makes sense. Thanks again so much for watching. Hope you learned something today. If you do want to become, again, a better trader, jumping over to our premium group here. CryptoCache.tech is a site link down below. We do have a new premium package that allows for you to have access to trade alerts, which are just, kind of little heads up things that I'm planning to take trades with. These are coins that I'm looking at that inevitably become trade signals. Okay, so again, check it out. Oh, last but not least, Bitunix is offering an exclusive benefit right now to my community for the rest of the month. So check it out, link down below. Let me know your thoughts. They're a really good exchange though, folks. I can tell you that we've been working with them for over a year now, and they've been phenomenal to us. So thanks again so much, Bitunix, for the opportunity for our members. And thank you too for being an awesome part of my life. I appreciate you very much for watching, all the support, etc. Deeply appreciate you. Hope you have a good rest of your day. We'll see you in the next one. Thanks again for your time. Bye-bye.